Hello again, my lovely students. I'm happy to be back with another lesson for you, my dears. And I am also happy, twice for giving you the news that we are approaching the end of our last unit in our reading and writing book. And hopefully not this week, okay? Next week we will finish the entire reading and writing book, completely, okay? And I want to thank you especially for, being responsible, for behaving, responsibly, and for doing your homeworks and doing your duties on time, and, helping yourselves and me, and getting use out of these videos. Thank you very much, my dears. Now we go to page 184, okay, because we stopped, at 183 after reading the second text, okay, which was, about can we trust our fears. It was all, talking about fear and how can we manage our fears, or what do we learn from our fears, okay? And now we have page 184. We have our write what you think section. My dears, here we have two questions, okay? Question number one, what fears did you write about? Why do you think you have these fears? Okay, if you remember in your quick write, there was a question, and the question was, it asked you to write down your fears. What are you afraid of? Okay, that was the question. For example, you're afraid of heights, snakes, and dark places. These things. Okay, and here it says, again, prepare a separate piece of paper. Write the answer of this. For example, write 4 fears you have. Okay, and why are you afraid of these things? Okay, that is the question. I want the answers on a separate piece of paper. And the second question, it says, do you think your fears are reasonable or unreasonable? As we talked about, reasonable fear, it is something dangerous, okay, you have to be afraid of. But unreasonable fear, it's not something dangerous, okay, it is something harmless, okay, it's okay not to be afraid of it, okay. And then why? It says, do you think your fears are reasonable or unreasonable? Why? For example, you write down 4 fears. Okay, are these reasonable or unreasonable? Are they things you cannot control? Are they things that are unfamiliar, meaning things you don't know? Are your fears likely to happen? For example, you are afraid of falling down from a high place. Okay, how is it likely that that thing will ever happen? Give detail. Use 4 or 5 lines to answer this question. Okay, my dears, then you go to your unit video, okay, which is online, and you can watch the video and use this box to help you with the new words. Budget is the plan for spending money. Police chief is the head, the boss of the police in a town or city. Police officer is a person who works in the police force. My dears, for activity C we have what? We have activity C. Here we have 2 questions. Okay, so you have to think about the unit video. Think about reading 1, what we studied on reading 1, go back to reading 1 and reading 2 as you answer these questions, because going back to those sources, okay, will help you to find the correct answer for these. The first one is, it says in reading 1 and 2, you read that people sometimes fear things unnecessarily, meaning they don't have to fear, for example, some things, but still they are afraid of it. What do you think people should be afraid of, in your opinion? People should be afraid of what? Okay, for example, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Write 5 things. The second question, write down all the fears that you have discussed so far in this unit. For example, we talked about many fears. Fear of heights, snakes in dark places, and large animals, and any of those. Okay, so I want you to write down all of those fears. Which fears do you think are unreasonable? Explain your answer. Okay, for example, you say fear of snake is unreasonable because snakes are harmless. Okay, they are cute. Okay, maybe you say fear of flying on a plane is unreasonable because it isn't something that dangerous because not many people die from plane crash. Okay, so choose the question and write down your answer in detail. Okay, please do not answer it with only one sentence or two sentences. Okay, I need detail here. My dears, once you're done with that, go to page 185. Here we have a new vocabulary skill, a new topic, in vocabulary skill, which is word family. When they tell you word family, what comes to your mind is noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. So when they tell you that, tell me the word family of, for example, this word. Okay, they mean that tell me whether it's a noun or verb or adjective or adverb. Okay, so you have to know the word family of the word that you learn. Any word you learn, you have to know the word family. Okay, so it says word family is a group of words that come from the same word. To bold, the bold words in the sentences are members of the same family. For example, you have protection, protect, and protective. They all come from protect. Okay, this is a noun, this is a verb, this is an adjective. Just like these words. Familiarity, familiarize, familiar, familiarly. Okay, pleasure, please, pleasant, pleasantly, for example. And activity A is for you to use your dictionary. Of course, you can use your dictionary to help you, okay, to fill out these boxes. For example, here we have violence. It doesn't have a verb, but it has, a adjective, violent and violently. Or harm is a noun, harm is also a verb, and harmfully is an adverb. Okay, so use your dictionary to fill out all of those boxes. It's very easy. You don't have to, worry about that. And you turn the page, you go to page 186. Okay, my dears, now we have what? We have activity B. Here it says complete each sentence with a word from, activity A, from these words. So you have to choose from this. You have to do this box, then you can do this exercise. Number one is done. Look at number two. We feel safe in this neighborhood. Why? We often go out at night to visit our neighbors because the neighborhood is safe. We may be in danger if you alone travel at night. Okay, so you may be in danger. So you can't say you may be in dangerous. No. After this in, okay, it should come a noun. Okay, because this is how it is, meaningly correct. It should, come a noun. You can't use an adjective or adverb here, for example. Okay, and for number 7, it says being afraid of the dark is a common fear. When most people, myself included, are afraid of dark places. That's why they always have to have a lamp or light in the room. My dears, on page 187 in our writing section, we have what? We have something new. We learn about the word however. However is the synonym of but. Okay, but and however, they have the same meaning. Okay, but they are used differently. That is the the point. Contrasting ideas with however. Guys, when they say contrasting, they mean opposite. Contrasting ideas meaning opposite ideas. So let's find out how we use however. The word however introduces an idea that is different from or contrasts with the idea before it. So look at however, look at but. This is important. Okay? My neighborhood is dangerous. Do not forget the comma. Okay? Comma, but it has many nice qualities. After but, we don't have a comma. Okay? But before but, we have a comma. Look at the second sentence. My neighborhood is dangerous. Full stop. However, we have a comma. It has many nice qualities. Okay, guys, it's important. When you use however, before however, put down a comma. Okay, write down however, then after however, write down a comma. Okay, if you notice, after but we don't have comma, but after however we have comma. So that is important. But is a conjunction. Conjunction is you know, something that works like a link. Okay, it links two things together. It connects two sentences together. However is a transition. Okay, it links two sentences. Okay, it connects two sentences. However usually comes at the beginning of the second sentence. Use a comma after however. Okay, so use a comma after however. When you finish the first sentence, you put down a comma. Then after comma, you put however. After however, you write down the comma, which is very necessary. Okay, we have another use of this was the first use of however. The second use of however is this. When you write down this the first sentence, crime rates are going down. Okay, full stop. When you go to the second sentence, you write down the subject of the second sentence, and however you write down however after the subject. Okay, when the subject comes before however, you need a comma, and after however you need a comma as well. Comma before and comma after however. Okay, this is for when do you put however after the subject of the second sentence. Okay, when you want your reader to focus on you know, the subject, to focus on the sentence of the subject, so you use this. Crime rates are going down. Most people, however, think the world is more dangerous. So this is however. Another use of however is in the end of the sentence. Okay, when you want to talk about something less important, okay, something that isn't very important, you write down however in the end, and you after in the end you put down a comma, a period, full stop, and before, you know, however you put down a comma as usual. Crime rates are going down. You know, most people think there is more crime. However, this is for something unimportant. When something unimportant, when you want to talk about something unimportant, you write however, you know, in the end of the sentence. So there you go. You have three uses of however. One of them is in the middle of two sentences. The second one is after the subject of the second sentence, and the last one is in the end of the sentence when something is not, you know, very important. This is how you use however. My dears, I want you to go to page 188. We have on page 188 we have exercise A, okay, which is based on which is based on you know, the previous grammar topic we just had, however, and so here we match two separate, you know, sentences, and the second sentence is the continuation of the first sentence. Look at the first one. Crime rates are much lower today. Okay, so see, however, most people believe that crime is increasing. Okay, so these are two opposite ideas. Okay, crime rates are, you know, much lower, but, you know, people think that it is increasing. Number two, it says the purpose of fear is to protect us from things that harm us. However, we can't always trust our fears. D. Okay, so this is how you do it, and I will leave the other ones for you. Exercise B, it says connect the sentences with however in three different ways, meaning put however in three different places. For example, look at the first one. The first one here, okay, it is after the subject. After the subject, however. But here, okay, imagine the first one, it is between the first sentence and the second sentence. Okay, when you write down the other two sentences, for one of them, put however between the first sentence and second sentence, and for the third sentence, okay, put however in the end. Okay, for example, here I put however after the subject. Okay, you can use this space as well. Okay, or you can do it on a separate piece of paper if there isn't much space here. Okay, and use however in the end of the sentence. People wash their hands for about 9 seconds. It, however, takes 15 seconds to kill the germs. Okay, and do that for the second one as well. Write however, okay, for example, in the middle of the sentence, write however in the end of the sentence, of course, and write however just after the subject, and continue with the rest of the sentence. This is sentence number 1, sentence number 2, sentence number 3. This is how you do it. Okay, my dears, I hope you understood and have no problem with this one. Okay, we have better health today than ever. Okay, however, people worry about their health today. Okay, or for example, you could say, we have better health today than ever. People worry about their health today, however, in the end. Okay, and I wrote an example here for you. My dears, in activity C 189, we have C. Okay, activity C. Here it says connect the sentences with but and however. Pay attention to the commas and periods. Okay, as you know, before but we have, a period. And before however we also have a period. But after however we have a comma. After but we don't have a comma. After but there is no comma. Look, the number 1 is done. Look at number 2. We like to watch violent TV shows. Violence makes us afraid. Okay, so we like to watch, violent TV shows. Okay, there isn't much space, as you can see, guys. That's why I didn't write the whole sentence. We like to watch, TV shows, comma, but violence makes us afraid. Okay, but violence makes us afraid. Do you think there's a mistake here? If yes, okay, so correct the mistake. For example, before but, you should change this comma to a period. That was the mistake. And for the second one, you write however. Before however, you put down a period, then however, then a comma. Is this correct? Okay, double check it. Double check it for yourselves and you will know. And in activity D, the other ones are for you, of course. In activity D, it says finish the sentences. Use your opinion. Okay, there's no right and wrong here. Okay, just use your opinion and finish the sentence. For example, it says teenagers worry less than adults about dangers, but they are carefree and defiant. Is this correct? Maybe this is false. Maybe you think that this is false. Okay, so change it. Okay, for example, you may say teenagers worry less than adults about dangers, but they are still afraid of things. They still have fears. Look at number 2. Most spiders are not poisonous. However, they can kill, they can not kill. They can harm us. Okay, however, they can harm us. Okay, however, they can harm us. Okay, and I want you to turn the page, my dears. I will leave 3 and 4 for you. Many people are afraid of speaking in front of a group of people, but for example, you say, but they have to do that. Okay, but they have to do that. It is, they have no option. Jumping from an airplane is very scary. However, when there is a lot of danger, you have to jump. Okay, you have no choice. For example, use your opinions and, fill out those blanks. Okay, it is totally up to you. And for activity E, okay, the last activity, it says find the mistakes in punctuation and capitalization, correct the mistakes. As we, talked about before. You see, before however, we should have period. And after however, we should have comma. That's a rule. before however a period, after however a comma. Okay, and when you see however here in a sentence like this, what do you do? Of course, you put a period before however and a comma after however. How do you do the other ones? What about but? Is this correct? Okay, how do you if this is false, how do you correct it? Okay, and look at number 4. Teenagers dash do not worry enough. You guys know we said that after the subject however, when however comes in the middle of the sentence, you have the subject before it, and then you should put a comma before it and a comma after it. Only in this situation, when however is in the middle of the sentence, you write down a comma before it. In other situations, you always put down a period before however, only when it comes in the middle of the sentence. Okay, my dears, I hope you understood this lesson. I hope you have no problem. I hope you find no difficulty in doing your homeworks, all the blanks I have left for you guys. And if you have any problems, any difficulty with doing these activities, you can contact me and I will make sure you get your help. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching, and I love you very, very, very much. Thank you very much. Bye bye.